Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be with you as always. I am, yeah, definitely adjusting. I'm just back from travels. I'm gonna share a little bit about that. But we have a lot to cover. I love it when we gather. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your energy, not just live, because obviously lots of you are here live and lots of you tune in later on recording. So thank you for sharing this time and space either way and for contributing your energy to our group, to this vortex, because every time we gather, it's a vortex and we move energy together and we amplify each other's efforts. So thank you for that. There is nobody in my world that isn't deeply devoted to their path. So I'm always thanking you for that as well, for all the work that you do on behalf of many of us. You're doing your own thing, you're living your life, you're doing your work in the world, and it's affecting all of us. So thank you for that. And we've got lots of hellos here, different energies. We want to dive in today. I called our call, named our call, the power and magic of March, how to allow the eclipses, equinox, and more that's happening this month to accelerate your soul work and leadership, regardless of personal or global circumstances. And that's a major key. If you were on the last live call, that was called Self Mastery in Turbulent Times. I got amazing feedback on that call. And you could say, in a way, this is like a continuation of that because I'm going to be reinforcing some of the same um, themes and messages. I'm fond, if you've been around me for a minute, I'm fond of saying mastery is practice of the basics over and over again. And that's my experience that you can't hear it too many times because we're always spiraling up. You are always going to be able to go to the next level of a particular tool, uh, insight, mastery in your own right. So I'm going to be referencing some of the things that we talked about last time, but also that we talk about on a regular basis. So, housekeeping, just to start with the simple things. Paper and pen would be great to have handy so you can just, as you're tuned in, like we're arriving, we're dropping in together. This is a space dedicated to your soul. And I really love it when you just trust yourself. So I'm going to offer some things. Some of them might jump out at you as relevant. Some of them just might spark, or just being in this space might spark your own downloads to start, right? So this is for you to, note down what jumps out at you that I might say, or what pops into awareness that seemingly is unrelated to what I'm saying. Um, note things down. I invited you to have some water or something hydrating. I've got my copper my copper cup with my water here. Got my candle lit. Love to suggest that you set sacred space in a way, light a candle, make sure all your notifications are turned off, airplane mode, unless you're using your phone right now. If you're on your computer, airplane mode on your phone or out of sight, and tabs closed. And just grant yourself permission here to be supported by me, by the group, by your soul, by your entire team in the unseen, and know that you're going to receive exactly what you're meant to. Okay, so that's just to start what we're doing here. We're going to do a quick centering grounding. I always like to do that to help everybody arrive and be in receptive mode. Lots of energies. We all have full lives. So just to set the stage and just give you that opportunity to just slow down and open to receive what's meant for you. We're going to be tuning into the energies of March, which are plentiful. And I'm going to dive in from there into whatever sort of flows. Hi, Rebecca. Great to see you here. So, yes, it's been a full year already, right? No matter where you are in the world, it's been a full on year, as was promised, and it's not going to stop, as you've heard me say. So, these calls and everything that I do is to support you in your stability, your ability to be the bridge between heaven and earth. So, for some of you who are newer to me, that's one way I like to say what I do. I'm here to support the new economy, to support executives and entrepreneurs in thriving in their soul work, in being bridges between heaven and earth, in hearing, trusting, and following their soul's guidance. So that's, that everything that I do is the overarching theme of every call, every container is really about that, about you embodying your soul, letting your soul lead. That's been the tagline in my business for years. Let soul lead, making your soul CEO. And I do have codes around being a supportive influence around rapid alignment, rapid acceleration, aligning your soul's highest path. So I'm really grateful that you're here so that I can serve and share my gifts. And I always like to start as well by asking why you're here. So, you're taking your precious time and energy to come, whether again live or listening later. Let's just pause a moment. We're slowing down. We're going to go inside in a moment, but just take a moment consciously here. What sparked you to come? Maybe you've come to many of my calls, you know this work and it helps you in the ways that are unique to you, and you just know that and you just come. You don't even know what we're going to talk about, right? Or you read something in the invitation that I sent out that sparked for you. Why are you here? And yeah, if you want to share it, Brenda, desire to serve my highest path. Great. Yeah, like that's definitely why I'm here to support you, right? To be that bridge between heaven and earth that you were designed to be and that no one else can be. So if anybody else wants to share, what's your intention? Why are you here? What sparked you to come? And what is your intention for this time together and this space together? Tracy's saying, soulful connection and to connect to the current energy so I can move through them with more ease and awareness. Great. Love that. Cal, clearing and releasing old patterns that no longer serve me and call in the true love I desire. Beautiful. Brenda, plus loved your energy a few months ago on a call. Awesome. Thank you. Helen, to tap into the high vibrational energy of this sacred space. Thank you. Yay, Helen. And thank you for your contribution to this high vibrational energy sacred space. You're such a huge contribution to that, as everyone is. Ilana, divine guidance, soul fam, centering. Great. Isabel, release anger, find answers, stability, and peace of mind. Yeah, super. So we are going to do some dissolving of energies that aren't serving you. We are going to connect you to your soul's guidance. And so let's do that, centering and grounding. Anne, hi, Anne, to connect with ease and grace. Beautiful. So everybody's going to receive what they need and contribute to anyone else who could benefit from what you're working on for yourself, right? So everybody just give permission right now to receive whatever is right for you that anyone else brings to this circle, that any shift, any breakthrough, any insight, any release, that's the power of being together in group, in community. We amplify each other's efforts. So feel free to keep sharing. And Cass, to be in a field of soulful connection and also fascinated by your experience of the Mayan jungle. Amazing. Great. Okay, super. I'm going to touch on that. I think I'm going to have to do like a whole other thing on that, but I am going to share some things because there was a lot. But I'm going to share some top line things as we get deeper in. So if you want to take a moment here to close your eyes, we'll do our centering and grounding. Sure your body feels comfortable and supported. And start with a body scan. Just noticing, using your inner eyes. Just scan top to toe or feet up, whatever way you like to do it. And just notice what's here. How's your body feeling? What sensations are you noticing? You might notice tensions. You might notice other kinds of sensations. You might notice blank areas where you don't really feel anything. And you might notice energy moving, like places where there's energy in particularly your hands and your feet are places that it's sometimes easier to feel, oh, there's actually energy moving inside me. And you can also scan observe your mind, what it's doing. It's always moving, it's always talking, it's always giving opinions, and that's okay. So as you observe it, you are not identifying with it. You're not caught in it the same way. So just presence alone. I always say presence is medicine. Things start to slow down, patterns start to unravel in your body, in your mind, and you can also notice your emotions. What's your dominant emotion right now? And this is you just loving yourself, bringing unconditional self-love by just noticing, giving attention to what's here at the different levels of your being. You can call all of your energy back to you now from every person, place, and situation, every time, space, and dimension. Unifying your energy field so that you are fully here. This present moment is the access point to everything, literally everything, every answer to every question you may seem to have, every inspiration, every timeline, every version of you, all here now. So unifying your energy field really helps with aligning with what you most are served by dropping in. And I'll invite you to drop a grounding column from the base of your spine down through the floor, down into the earth. It travels with ease and speed down through the layers of the earth to reach at a place at the center that's perfect for you for right now, where it can connect in or wrap around. So you feel, sense, know you are deeply rooted into Mother Earth. And you can just let her magnetic pull draw down all energies that don't belong to you. We pick them up all the time, even from people you love, but your field is for you. Your energy field is for you, your own frequency. So let all of the energies from other people drop away down the grounding column. The earth will recycle that. And any energies you're complete with, you actually have energies that you don't need to understand anymore. You don't need to process any further. Lots and lots can fall away with that permission. So let the earth take it from you so you have a sense of more space, more openness, more receptivity. And so that you can just listen in with your whole being, beyond your ears, beyond the mind processing. There are many codes transmitting here, many, many beneficial codes, frequencies. So just allow that, give permission now for you to receive exactly what's right for you, and know that it's happening beyond the understanding of the conscious mind. Even if you get knocked out, you seem to go into another state, you fall asleep, you're getting it anyway. and just listen with your whole being, right? So we are in this month of March, and we have a bunch of things happening. I'm going to read a few energy reports as I like to do. I'm not an astrologer, but I do trust clean messengers around astrology, which I'll always qualify by saying I don't believe astrology controls us. I believe we collectively agree on certain times when we'll release certain energies and patterns and will strengthen certain energies and patterns. And so that's all for me, astrology is about being mindful and intentional so that we can welcome big waves of energy, big opportunities for letting go, big opportunities for receiving, be mindful about them, not be in resistance to them so that we can navigate. I kept getting this common metaphor, but I kept getting it earlier today of rather than being on the surface of the ocean when there's big waves, we get to drop below. You know the difference, right? You're bounced around on the surface, you're on a boat, water is washing up on the deck, it's like, and you're seasick and it's noisy and you can't find your center and you're using all your energy just to stay afloat. And yet, if you just drop under, it's quiet, it's peaceful. There's still a lot of energy, but it's not this destabilizing you, right? So just that's an invitation as you listen in. So I'm going to I'm going to read some of the energies, and I'll say that there are many, many astrological events and energies this month, but I'll focus on the main ones, 5 main ones. And those are Venus retrograde. We're already in it. It started at the beginning of the month. It runs till April the 12th, and I'll speak more to that. We have a full moon lunar eclipse next week, the 13th, 14th, depending on your time zone of March. That opens the eclipse window. That's a 2-week window. In the middle of it is equinox, major portal, March the 20th. And then the second eclipse, the solar eclipse on March 29th. And all in the middle of that, we have Mercury retrograde starting March 15th until April the 6th. And so the lunar eclipse next week, you could say lunar eclipses are about endings, and solar eclipses, which we'll have one at the end of the month, as I said, is about beginnings. So 5 major things. And so it could be, right, for those who aren't working with these consciously, it's like being on the surface of the ocean when there's big waves or a storm. I want to support you in dropping underneath, right? Or at least having the right kind of tool, the right kind of boat, surfboard, whatever it might be, so that you're surfing the waves in a way that you're hooting and hollering and having some fun. Right? You see it for what it is, even if it's like, oh, this is leaving, it's uncomfortable. That's okay, right? We're not introducing resistance there. So as you listen, I'm going to offer you some of these reports from others. So let me start with everything aligns showcased the source as cosmic energy. March will bring a karmic reset, and we all need to be ready for intense transformation. We will have 2 eclipses with Venus and Mercury retrograde. The changes coming are all good, but not everything is meant to come with you. It will be a time to trust the unknown. And then I have a few from Soul Guidance, that's their handle. Again, just take what resonates, leave the rest, see what jumps out at you, see what is personal to you that is relevant as well, right? So you can jot down anything that you want to work with here that's leaving or that you're bringing in. So, breakthrough. March is bringing a full-blown cosmic shakeup. If you've been waiting for a plot twist, trust me, this month isn't serving just one, it's delivering a whole series of them. The astrological lineup is intense, layered, and transformational, with Venus and Mercury retrograde, a solar and lunar eclipse, the equinox, and Neptune shifting signs after 14 years. This is big. You may feel like everything is happening at once, yet nothing is moving at all, like sprinting through quicksand. That's because this energy is an initiation, not a destination. It's a breaking point and a breakthrough wrapped in one, forcing you to release old timelines, outdated identities, and illusions that no longer serve your highest path. How this energy may affect you: emotional and mental upheaval. Retrogrades and eclipses amplify truth and illusion. If something is being exposed, trust that it's happening to clear the path ahead. Time distortion. Things may feel hyper-accelerated and stagnant at the same time. Trust divine timing. Just because you can't see the movement doesn't mean it isn't happening. Personal and collective shifts. Everyone will feel this differently depending on their birth chart. But one thing is certain, you are being pulled into your next level, whether you feel ready or not. So that was the writing on breakthrough. Here's also from Soul Guidance, the writing on acceleration under these influences. The energy is potent, fast moving, and deeply transformative. We are in the midst of massive timeline shifts, and if you've been feeling a sense of urgency, emotional intensity, or exhaustion, know that it's not just in your mind, it's in the field. Right now, multiple timelines are presenting themselves. Some are dissolving, some are merging, and others are opening up, waiting for you to step into alignment with them. What you choose today determines the reality you walk into next. This isn't about small decisions. It's about how you show up, what you release, and whether you have the courage to claim the future you've been sensing is possible. And there's one more writing from Soul Guidance called Crossroads. We're in the energy of intense recalibration, deep clearing, and accelerated shifts. If you've been feeling unsteady, restless, or emotionally heightened, you're not alone. The collective energy is in flux, and we are all feeling the effects. We are in a powerful corridor of transformation where old timelines are being stripped away and new realities are forming in real time. Here's the thing, though, you are no longer just a passenger in this shift, you are the architect. This is the moment where you must choose. Will you keep holding on to the old, or will you step boldly into the unknown, trusting that what is ahead is far greater than what is behind? So that gives you, an overview of this time. I'm also going to share something here about Venus retrograde. The planet of, and as I mentioned, just to remind you, we're in Venus retrograde now from March the 1st until April the 12th. The planet of love, beauty, and luxury goes retrograde, bringing with it a powerful opportunity to heal. Venus asks you to go within to reflect, reevaluate your connections. Over the next 6 weeks, an ex may resurface, old situations may repeat themselves. Do not get sucked into it because it may get wild. Expect old wounds to resurface to be released and healed. Attachments, toxic patterns, and self-sabotage behavior will be highlighted. A time for deep introspection, focus on self-love, and the love you allow yourself to receive. Some of you may also identify how difficult it is for you to express your feelings. Avoid new commitments, beauty changes, impulse buys, and take the time to pause, ponder, provide, pray, and reclaim your stolen power. Spirit says that which refuses to transform will come to an end. Let it. The Venus retrograde is immensely powerful because within it are two eclipses along with Mercury retrograde. So allow the energies of Venus to align you with healing, realignment with love, and increasing your capacity to receive blessings and miracles. And I don't have a particular writing on Mercury retrograde, but in general, Mercury retrograde is a renewal of the mind, of the way you think, the way you perceive. Some, commonly known things are it can be a time of technology glitches, communication glitches and misunderstandings, not the ideal time to sign big contracts like buying a house or, making big decisions like that. However, if you do, I'm not a fearmonger in this. I really align with the voices that say you can continue doing what you need to do. Just know that if you do, for example, have to sign a big contract in that period, just know that it's open to refinement later, that there might be something readjusted. You might find it in flux at a later time, renegotiated or something like that, right? So it doesn't have to be scary or bad. Just enjoy. Just enjoy the fact that we get to have fun with technology and agreements and contracts and so on in those periods. But the point of it is revisit, reset, realign, recalibrate, and you can come to new understandings. So really, really big opportunities for us. And there was one more I wanted to offer you. Where is it? Bear with me and just see what's landed. Here's the additional one. Also, Everything Aligns shared this. It's from Katie Simplot. You are not just receiving new frequencies, you are becoming them. Let them reshape you into your highest expression. So just notice what you notice, right? And I'm going to invite you here to bring that metaphor, that image of like, as you're aware of the choppy waters at the surface of the ocean, consciously intend you're diving deep. You're going into the depth, the peace, the quiet, the power of the ocean beneath. Or if you liked it better, you could say, you've got this magical, craft, some incredible kind of magical boat or surfboard that allows you to surf the waves, even if they're huge waves. You're surfing, you're having fun, you're playing. Right? Choose your metaphor, but set the intention now for the most blessed passage through this time. And if there's anything that's coming to you, anything that you want to note down, anything that you know already you're letting go that needs to end, and or anything you know is coming into form, something that wants to be birthed. Either of those might be your soul speaking to you right now, or you could have a version of both. Right? So something that I want to share. You can stay just receptive if you want. You can keep your eyes closed. We're not in the deeper meditation quite yet. We're just going deeper and deeper. I want to share a few things about my time away. I just came back end of last week, from a 12-day retreat in the jungle that I went to with. If you tuned into On God's Payroll, I interviewed Daniel Raphael. He hosted that retreat, but he collaborated. He actually did an incredible experiment where he called in like a dozen other master teachers. And if I tell you, this retreat was like being suspended in time, because every one of the master teachers was otherworldly in a way, I could say. Um, and the codes that I want to bring you. I mean, we had sessions morning till night because it was the jungle. There was hardly any technology. Cell coverage was minimal, bare minimum. Only Wi-Fi in the main part of the main building of the property. Property was very large, lots of quiet. And here we were in this sort of laboratory, so to speak. And every one of these master facilitators was bringing a unique medicine. And, we're talking about the kind of thing where these kind of facilitators have, studied with masters that no one has heard of around the world, the kind of stuff that sounds impossible, things materializing out of thin air, um, equipment like technologies from the times of Atlantis. Those are alive on our planet. There are communities that exist that are using them. Um, there are some extraordinary things happening on the planet. And and so what I want to transmit in this moment, and there may be another time when I go into more depth around it, perhaps another call is in order for that, just to share more about it. But what I want to offer you right now is a couple of powerful codes. Uh, Firstly, and I've shared this many times before, including on our last call, Self-Mastery in Turbulent Times, but nothing in this reality is solid. So I invite you to just receive that right now. Like nothing in this reality is as solid as it seems. It's a quantum reality. And we are participating in a co-created, a collective agreement kind of reality. But our individual power is so extraordinary. And I don't even want to use a lot of words for this. I'm here with the codes to offer you the next level of remember. You may know this, you've been on the path a long time, maybe, and it still gets deeper. I've been on this path a long time. I know this. I teach this all the time. I went to my next level with it. So receive the codes around just how malleable this reality is and just how powerful you are to influence it. How powerful you are in your energy, how powerful you are in your intention, how powerful you are with your focus. And that's really that's where this is, connected to our last call. As these big energies are moving and all that is happening at the surface of the ocean, our power, our ability is to make ourselves in a way immune to it, to be able to navigate with a kind of centeredness and groundedness and awareness that births the new. We are bridges between heaven and earth. Heaven on earth comes through us, each of us being true to the peace that we've been given, right? So as you're receiving, as you're listening, like what's downloading to you? What's your piece? What's the next piece for you to bring forward? Anything could be coming to you right now. Each of us is the bridge between heaven and earth. Where we put our attention is critical right now. So if you attended that call, or if you didn't, I would definitely recommend the replay. You know that I shared the story of a book I was gifted many years ago. I think it was the year 2000, called Sunlight on Water. Couldn't get enough of it. It was a thick book, textbook, and it talked about the times that we're living in when the world would be very turbulent and we would see the collapse of our institutions, right? Those institutions, the way business, government, education, you name it, like nothing's exempt. Healthcare, like all the big institutions of our society we're built on separation consciousness the way they generally are right now, and they are collapsing. And the main message that I still remember 25 years later that I got from that book was when things start collapsing, do not look at what's collapsing because you are, I'm paraphrasing this part now, you are so powerful, you will invest your creative ability. Your literal reality is literally forming moment by moment, and it looks continuous because we're playing a game here. But you're so, so powerful that where you put your focus, you energize. So as the turbulence is occurring, as the collapsing is happening, my invitation to you is to master your focus, master your frequency, and put pour your attention, your life force, your creative power into what you're bringing into form. What are you building? What is in your divine blueprint to build next? Even if you've been on the path a long time, there are still seeds of separation. If your business started in whatever year, right? Mine started in 2010, the form that I have it now. I became an entrepreneur earlier than that, but this version, this iteration of my business started in 2010. There are seeds of separation that I'm rooting out. Again, spiraling up. So our job is to stabilize in the frequency that you came here to be for the planet, your soul's frequency, and to bring into form the purity of what's in your soul blueprint. If you're already doing your soul work, maybe you have something new, right? Maybe you're embarking. We have a number of people in this community in a transition. You're leaving something that is no longer a match completely. You're stepping into something new, while others are already doing extraordinary work. You're in your soul work, but there's refinement. There's a next iteration of you as a leader. There's a next iteration of your business itself or your offerings. Something is next level that's coming through. So what is that? Right? What tethers do you need to cut now? What is ripe to let go as we move through this passage? Right? So we're going to go into, so I just want to remind you, I want to remind you of that. We are the bridges between heaven and earth. We are the ones to determine what happens next, how quickly and easily we move into heaven on earth as our lived reality. And as each one of us anchors in that and brings it into form and brings our soul more visible into the world, it creates a grid. Participants, everybody who's part of that grid, we connect with each other, and the hologram of New Earth becomes more visible to everyone else. Right? There are waves of awakening happening. I've talked about that before. We are at quite a leading edge of that wave. There will be people who come at later waves. They need people to come to. They are going to look to us with new structures, with new ways of being, with new offerings that have the codes in them that are source codes, that are soul level aligned ways of being, doing, offering. So what are you aware of? Again, you may have heard me say this 1,000 times before. This moment is fresh. Your soul is talking to you right now. Right? So I'm going to mention here, and then we're going to go into our meditation. I announced before I went away that I'm going to be offering my next round of Master Your Frequency. I'm calling it Master Your Frequency 2.0. It's truly the most impactful container I've created. It is a rapid aligner accelerator. And we already had a bunch of people jump in without even the details yet. The details are now set. We're going to start next week on the eclipse on the 13th. We're going to be meeting on Thursdays. So the second call will be on the equinox. I purposely designed it that way, and it is absolutely designed to do everything that we're talking about here, to support you in dissolving what is no longer aligned for you with grace, with ease, with elegance, no longer energizing what is dying, whether it's at the personal level, business level, or collective level, to stabilize you in your soul frequency, establish a new foundation in your reality so that you're stable, anchored, embodied, and from there you begin bringing through what is next in precise alignment. So I've added 2 new modules this time. If you've taken the the immersion, I'm calling it an immersion. It really is an immersion. Works very, very quickly. If you've been through it with me before, there are 2 additional modules this time around, specifically for your soul work. I've added an element also around identity, the change in your identity as you go through this transition. And we're going to be talking, we've talked about it before, but we're going to be talking more about abundance and money. So I just want to mention that those details are now firm. We start next week. So I ask you to just tune in. I'm not going to drop the details in right now. Let's get through our meditation, but consult with your soul. Like your soul knows. We had people step in, they didn't have any details about it, but their souls knew they were supposed to be part of it, right? So just tune in. I don't want anybody there who doesn't get a yes from the soul, right? So all I'm doing is doing my part, making my gifts available, and you can tune in and just see what does your soul say about whether it's right for you. And then you'll have the link at the end as well. So you can actually, your mind can catch up and you can read the details and see all the logistical stuff. Okay. But I want to support you in developing your mastery, your immunity to what's going on. And so let's dive in deeper now to our deeper meditation. So if you've opened your eyes, you can close them again. And just checking in. Making sure your body's comfortable. You've scanned through your body. You're present. You're here. You can feel the surface below you, behind you, where your hands are resting. Continuing to call all your energies back to you. As the mind starts to work, it can scatter energies away. So unifying your energy field again. And your grounding column still in place, pulling away anything you don't need, right? So if any waves of discomfort pass through you as you listen, let them fall down the grounding column. You've got an exit route supporting you. And represencing again that metaphor of the ocean. Choppy waters, big waves at the surface, and the deep calm beneath. Or the magical ability to surf the waves in a way that's fun and life-giving. And so, represencing that intention to be supported through this time, whether you come on the mastery of frequency journey or not, right? Your intention is powerful here. And so what are you noticing, or what have you already have come to your awareness around what might be leaving at this time? Things you know that might be closing off, or things said another way that you have found yourself in resistance to. right? Things that belong to the old timeline or the old way of perceiving. If you're in resistance, if you're in judgment, if you're in rejection of something, of someone, of yourself, of a situation, personally, business-wise, collectively, notice that. And I'm going to just invite you to take a nice breath and be present with it. Soften in the face of it. Because as I like to say, it's a tug of war as you resist something, anything. You're giving it life, you're energizing it. And so if there's a place in your body that you notice that corresponds to the resistance, a place you're uncomfortable, a place you're bound up, you're holding, you experience tension, become aware of that. And this is your first most potent tool that I would offer you. We go really powerfully into practicing this together in Master Your Frequency. And just take it here. Powerful tool. Presence without resistance. Soften. You're in resistance to something, it's a misunderstanding or a part of you that needs love, that might be frightened, perhaps, or needs something. So the first step is simply to soften the pushing against it. And if there's a place in your body that you notice is holding, bring your awareness there. Like look with your inner eyes and just be present. The pattern that then turns into a story, turns into an expression that has a story around it or a narrative around it. When we go just to the energetics behind that story, it can release the whole story. Or if there's something you need to understand, you can get the insight, you can get the lesson. But the blessing is elusive as long as there's judgment and resistance against that thing. And so again, just allowing love, it's unconditional love as you just stay present and you investigate what are the sensations, what is the location, where is this resistance? Or you can just hold the situation or the thing that's been challenging for you in your awareness and just be willing to be present with it. And in this moment, I would offer you Ho'oponopono as a powerful prayer of release, powerful prayer of completion. The Hawaiian, many of you are familiar with it, but if you're new to it or you don't remember, simple prayer, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And the spirit of that is simply whatever you're observing that you're judging, rejecting, can't be with, there is some misunderstanding. In some way, your consciousness is contributing to it, has agreed to it. I'm sorry for my misperception is really the meaning of it. Sorry, I've agreed to something that doesn't feel right, doesn't look right. Please forgive me, cleanse my vision. Help me see through my soul's eyes is the way I would say it. Thank you. Thank you for the divine support to see through the lens of the soul, through the lens of the divine. I love you. Self-explanatory, right? And so just trust the power of that ease, presence, prayer. You can repeat that anytime, anywhere. What are you resisting? Note it down, soften, be with it, feel the feeling, feel the sensation. Let the old timeline die. It's our relationship to reality that determines the quality of our experience, the quality of how we show up, what we bring forth. So we're correcting the perception, the relationship to life, the relationship to self, the relationship to other. So that's the first tool, just soften, be with, feel, honor, receive the gift. Maybe there's a message for you here, maybe a blessing, an insight. Why has this been in your experience? How has it served you? There is literally nothing in your experience that isn't serving you. Nothing. It's there for a reason. Maybe at one point it was protection. Maybe you've outgrown it. Maybe it was for safety. Maybe it was to show you a higher vantage point to help you see more through your soul's eyes. Maybe it was an old belief about yourself that was false that gave rise to it. And the divine is correcting you. The divine has a totally different view of you. Whatever it may be, receive the gift, the blessing, the lesson, or ask now to be shown what it is. And that may come to you, if not in this moment, later today, in the next few days. Something you're really challenged by, ask now. Ask and you shall receive. Look at the insight at the right moment. Willingness is all that's asked for. Openness, willingness, softness, receptivity. And another thank you. Thank you for what's been revealed to you. Take a nice breath. Scan your body again. Stay in your ease, in your relaxation. And in this space, you're going to also open to receive what is true. True at the level of the soul, at the level of the divine. And align you with the frequency of who you really are. So I like to talk about frequency number 1 and frequency number 2. So what we resist, old concepts of self, old identities, that all falls in the bucket of frequency number 1, this old familiar way of feeling, being in resistance. But there's also frequency number 2. So we're making peace with frequency number 1 and all the ways that it showed up. But as we turn to what's true, that's of the soul, we're turning towards frequency number 2, which is the frequency of your soul and the frequency you came to be for the planet, who you came to be, what you came to emanate, and what you came to make visible in the world. Your frequency was there before the body. It will be there after the body. It's your unique flavor of God. And I like to invite you to tune into it by simply asking you to become aware of a time and place you felt most like yourself. So in this moment, see what comes to awareness, a time and place you felt a natural sense of joy or aliveness. You're so fully you. And often that's, you're in a place that you love. London's that for me. Mexico's that for me. Many places that feel like, oh. Or you're doing something you love where you lose track of time. Another way of feeling that natural feeling of you, the essence of you flowing, feeling like yourself. Or with one or more people that really get you, they really see you. And as you are aware of that, just be there, see what you see, hear what you hear, and really feel the fullness of what you feel when you're so yourself. That's like turning the dial on the radio station to your station that streams your soul frequency. It's how you feel in those moments when you're so yourself, in your joy, in your aliveness. It has a flavor to it. And you've had it many times. And as we focus on it here, we're making it stronger. We're anchoring it more fully into your body. This is the state from which your creations can flow that come directly from your soul blueprint, that are to be birthed to contribute to heaven on earth. And so, as you're tuned in, as you're aware, as you're feeling it, let it nourish you, let it enliven you. Feels so good. This is your soul. We're here to make it visible. And this feeling is the direct connection to there are infinite timelines. They're all parallel, they're all simultaneous, and there is one that we could call your heaven on earth. And it feels like this. This feeling you're feeling is the direct connection to that heaven on earth timeline. And the version of you that's living on that timeline that has made their soul visible fully in every detail. We could call that your future self. We could call that your higher self. We could call that your soul embodied self, whatever you call it. Become aware of that version of you now. It's just a symbol. There's really no separation. It's all you, all now. But we do play this game. So let it be fun. You're always going to be becoming. So there's always going to be this highest, wisest aspect of you that sees the overview of why you're here and what's next for you, that has the answers to whatever you're asking. Let that version of you come into awareness, come right up close to you, coming towards you. Maybe you have a visual, maybe it's an actual version of you. You see them, how they're dressed, looks like you, a version of you. Or it could come some other way. It could be like a symbol, an animal, an energy, or just a knowing. So trust your own system. Can't do this wrong. But as you're here together in close proximity, receive whatever the emanation is. This is like, I like to say, a tuning fork effect. This version of you emanating your soul frequency so powerfully, you're getting an upgrade. And I would invite you to just, as you receive that, expand your threshold of receiving even more. You're being supported, you're being loved. And allow your soul self to share a message. First thing they want you to know, whatever that is meant to be in words or images or symbols or a feeling. Could be about anything. And trust what you get. Breathing it in, softening, receiving. And if there's something for you to know specifically about a priority right now, could be to do with your soul work, to do with your leadership, something you've been wondering, you could ask a question if you like. If you have a question you want clarity on, or it could be simply, what does your soul want you to focus on? Practically speaking, a next step. Trust whatever's right for you and receive that now, or share your question and listen for the answer. Trusting what you get is perfect for right now. And you can always come back and do this again if you wish. And I'll invite you to just, saying thank you to your guide here, invite them to continue to walk with you in a way that you can't miss, right? To continue to support you, to drop in insights, visions, inspirations, next steps as you go, opening this channel more fully, feeling supported, and trusting you've received exactly what's right for you for this moment, right? And lots, again, knowing, tuning in right now, knowing that you've received far more than your conscious mind is aware of right now. Many, many codes have been transmitted and received through what I've offered, through others in the group, through your soul, your higher self, future self. And just take a moment here to say thank you. Thank you to your soul, and thank you to everyone in this circle, live or on recording. You're receiving the benefit of everyone being here together. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone devoted to this. And taking a nice breath, slowly, deeply aware again of your body in this time, in this place. Make sure you're grounded. Gently moving fingers and toes. Maybe a gentle twist or stretch. Slowly, very gently, when you're ready, opening your eyes. If there's anything you want to jot down, you can do that. And if there's anything you want to share in the chat, I would love to hear, what was your journey like? What insight, vision, what cleared for you? Could be anything that was relevant to your journey that you'd like to be witnessed in. If you have any questions, also happy to entertain those. And know that, every time we go through one of these activations, it's profound. You actually did rearrange your reality. Uh, Miracles happen in this space all the time. So just trust. Realignments have been perfect. And I always recommend, extra hydration, maybe some salt in your water or lemon juice in your water or some trace minerals. You might need a little extra rest. You won't get knocked out, but maybe there's something to integrate. Stay open for more guidance. Might be dropping in. And yeah, just give you a moment. I know always after these meditations, um, it takes a minute to kind of come back into the body, into being ready to share. So just give it a moment. And in the
Hello,
yeah,
I'd like to share.
hi Sarah. Okay,
Ah, great. You can see my name.
I can.
I'm in Australia and I'm just waking up, and what a beautiful moment to be going through this process with you. I really love your work and came to you through Tom Cronin.
So lovely.
And yeah, and he's brilliant. And
Yes.
I can see how you work together. And I have been on a path of significant change the last year on a really rapid trajectory. I declared in November last year in a public space that I want to be a part of global food conversations around changing food systems to improve social outcomes through nutrient density. Little did I know, less than a month later, meet a key figure in that movement and become a part of this grassroots movement to help make significant change. And yet, it's definitely not grassroots. We're talking major conversations with major players. And yet, I have no formal qualifications in this area except having come from an entrepreneurial background with my former husband. And so, this is what I've learned from this meditation and this session this morning. You've just affirmed the path I'm on and any wobbles that I may have had going, am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? You've just reminded me, no, no, my soul's speaking to me that this is where I was destined to be. And I knew it all along. And my rapid rise is because I know that is my authentic self. And I'm serving at the highest level possible to be able to help others to rise up and change their consciousness through the quality of food they're able to access because they don't have the power or the ability to change it for themselves. So I wanted to let you know, Lisa. Thank you for affirming that and for the work you're doing to help us be conscious of what our soul's trying to tell us and how to action that.
So beautiful. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing. Wouldn't be surprised if there are a lot of heads nodding like, yes, I feel like I know I'm on track. My soul's on track. And it's certainly, I'm so glad you received that. And I'm, thrilled
Thank
for
you.
you how it's,
Thank you.
come falling into place so powerfully and that's what you've received. That's what I would want for everyone here, right? That you realize you are on track, no matter what the mind tries to say, right? Your soul's here on track. And thank you for, yeah, super. Thank you for sharing that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Anyone else, you can pop in the chat. And I'm going to put the link here for anybody who wants to consider Master Your Frequency 2.0. The details are there. And I'll send it with a replay as well. Um, And I don't have the link. There is an option which I offered previously, which has been I have had that appreciated and taken advantage of. That if you're someone who has been drawn to do a deep dive with me, a 90-minute one-on-one, then this is a great time to jump into that because you'll receive Master Your Frequency included if you want to do that together. So I'll include that in the replay because I don't have the link here for some reason. But just tune into your knowing. All the details are there. Anybody else? Wakita saying, so beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. And I do need to go back to some of the comments from before. Doc B, I forget was Doc B saying, I work with Daniel. Yeah, isn't he wonderful? Kel as well. Well, and that may have been how you found me, right? Because he was one of my incredible guest speakers for On God's Payroll. Wakita, I've always wanted to work with Victor Sanchez. I don't know who Victor Sanchez is. You'll have to enlighten me. Randolph said, the clearer my inner sight, the more accurate my perception of reality, and the greater the value of my participation in that reality. 100%. Boom. That's exactly it. Kel, that was excellent. Thank you. You're so welcome. Brenda, lovely session. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Alana, you're so welcome. Anyone else have any experience you had that you'd like to share? Any interesting insight? Any question? Happy to share. And Rebecca, you're so welcome. Um, Yeah, I'm so grateful when you all come and do these, because we really do change the fabric of reality when we gather like this and we do these journeys together. So thank you for lending your power and and more to follow as well, right? But for those who want to dive into Master Your Frequency, or if you have a question about it, please let me know. We will be doing everything we talked about here today, mastering your ability to be in that alignment with in that embodiment and alignment with your frequency that you came here to express in the world. It's everything's there on the page. So just go through it. If you're not familiar with it, go through it and see if it's for you. Wanda says, amazing meditation. Thank you, Lisa. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. And yeah, let's give it another minute or so if anybody else wants to offer any reflection, any insight. And if you feel complete, that's great too. Maybe some of you want to actually stay in this space for a bit. Sofika, so beautifully powerful. I received a clear vision of a further expansion of my business, next steps, and a clear message to and from my heart. Thank you, Lisa. I love it, Sofika. You're amazing. Couldn't be more excited for you and your business expansion. It is, I know, world changing, making such a difference, and you are riding the wave of grace with it. Andrea, so much peace, relaxation, and an injection of gentle confidence for next steps. Fabulous. I love it. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being here. Beautiful. Amazing. Any last comments, shares, insights? All good? Feeling complete? Helen, you're so welcome. She's as powerful as always. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Sarah says, I sent you a connection request on LinkedIn. Want to connect with life-changing high vibe people? Feel free to reach out to me. Beautiful. Thank you, Sarah. Amazing. All right. I love you all. And just take this with you. Stay open for more downloads, and I'll send the replay out shortly if you want to take the journey again. And yeah, we've got this. Golnessa, thank you. It was amazing. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Stephanie, you're welcome. Okay, everybody, much love. Bye for now.